Francisco Lindor, he is going to have a good time. Exuberant personality, charismatic, well-liked by everybody, and that's why this hurts so much for Cleveland. When you look at this list, Kevin, of guys they've traded over the years, Lindor, Carrasco, Bauer, Brantley, Kipnis, there's a lot. But Chris Antonetti knows that's the price of doing business when you're running the Cleveland Indians. Here's his reaction to the news.
I was in tears, in the conversations with Carlos and Francisco. I think they were as well, because we care about each other, and they're special people in addition to special players. So trades like this are really, really hard to make. But at the same time, we view it's the right thing to do for us. And, a big part of the success that we've had as an organization over the last, decade or so has been because we've been willing to make difficult choices to position our team to be successful. And hopefully this will be, as painful as it is right now, a trade that helps position us to be successful moving forward.
Really hope the Browns pull off the upset against the Steelers. This is painful right now for Cleveland. You just traded away Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco. I mentioned the names they've traded in the past. Their payroll now, they're down to around about $50 million. They cut about $34 million off the payroll from 2020. They were one win away, Kev, from winning the World Series in 2016. They've made the playoffs for the last 5 years. From your perspective, as a former player, what must this be like if you're Jose Ramirez going, seriously, we're going through this again?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's the business side that players, when you're in it, you just don't quite understand it because you're losing friendships, right? You're with these guys more than your immediate family. You're eating together, you're showering together, you're fighting together, you're all in together for a long time. It's a long season. So then you develop these relationships, and it stinks. I'll never forget, Ryan Dempster and I are brothers, okay? We roomed together in spring training. He cooked for me, he cleaned for me. I'm telling you right now, that would have been my wife if it was the right situation, okay? I love the guy. When he got traded to Cincinnati, I cried like a little baby. We sat there and hugged and cried because it's like you're losing a part of your dude. This is your guy. So not only is he a great player, not only can you not win without him right now if you're Cleveland, but he keeps you in the mix. Even with a team that was depleted, offensively, you sat here and leaned on that starting staff if you're the Indians. But, yeah, now everybody's gone. It's one of those things you just can't miss. You hope Josh Wolf and Isaiah Green become somebody. Then they're the guys you talk about at 23 go, this was the Francisco Lindor trade, and that's how it all works.
I'm with you on mentioning Wolf and Green. Both those guys are top 10 prospects for the Mets. The downside is, well, they're not top 5 prospects, but prospects are always a crapshoot. Who knows? We know about Jimenez. You know about Rosario. Those guys, we've seen in the majors. Maybe they can make an impact. But I just feel for Cleveland, man. I know Cleveland rocks, but this is tough when you get a team that always feels like they're on the edge, where things don't work out. They got to rebuild. I know it's the price of doing business. We see it with the Rays as well. But when you look at a guy like Shane Bieber, future Cy Young Award winner for years to come, who knows? Zach Plesac, they've got tons of arms, but you wonder about the bats now. It's Jose Ramirez and a whole lot of else. I know the Central's not a great division. That's the only thing I will tell Indians fans. Hey, you know what? The division's not great, but I think you and I would both be really surprised if they're contending for a playoff spot in 2021.
Yeah, the one thing about the Indians, though, they've done a great job drafting through the past. They'll draft, and they're young teams, and then they have to trade them away. But they do a good job. They're a little bit like the Twins that way. They do things the right way. They draft, White. They signed early as Bartolo Colon and Manny Ramirez and the boys back in the day, Jim Thome, whatever it was. But I will tell you this is where guys like Franmil Reyes, who are you? It's time for you to step up. Big old strong kid, maybe it's 45 home runs. You have to start having guys have career years. And this is for guys to step up. You're having an opportunity. It was just like when the Marlins won the World Series in '97. We all got called up. We were all the guys like, the fans were like, great. But you looked at those guys, Ryan Dempster, Brad Penny, A.J. Burnett, Josh Beckett, Mark Kotsay, Derek Lee, Mike Lowell. Guys had great careers, Preston Wilson. And so you look back and like, yeah. And then they ended up winning it in 2003 with a lot of the same nucleus. So this can happen in Cleveland. They're used to this stuff. And, we'll see what happens.